Hey everyone, Jesse Dale here with Macro Missionary, and we're going to dive into the question that everyone has asked. There's been a million magazine articles written about it, probably 1,000 podcasts, and it's the one question that people ask: how much protein do I need? Is the question. And a lot of times professionals will not answer that question concisely, and it leaves the consumer, frustrated. Well, a professional really can't professionally answer that question to any degree of high level of accuracy, and that's what professionals like to do. They don't like to just be a know-it-all and give you the answer that because they are this infinite fountain of wisdom, but they like to give you the best answer possible. That's why it's tough to just give you that answer. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to bridge the gap. I'm going to give you a concise answer with the information, the data that I'm going to share for you. So why is it tough to give a concise answer? Well, there's so many things that go into how much protein you need. For example, muscle mass, your goal, the quality of the protein is a big one. Total calories, what type of training you're doing. Are you doing endurance training? Are you doing resistance training? Your age. So there are a lot of different factors that will determine your protein needs. Okay, so that's why it's tough to just kind of spout off an answer. But we're going to dive into some of those things, and I'm going to give you the best answer that I can so that you can implement it for yourself. Okay, so first let's look at why is protein so sought after. Okay, well, most people who are asking how much protein that I need, most people, they're not thinking of like growing nails or hair or all the other things that protein does. They're thinking of, dude, I want to grow muscle, okay? Well, remember that protein intake is probably the least important factor, with all other things being equal, without being starved or malnutrition, but it's probably the least important factor in your in building skeletal muscle protein. Okay, so for example, you got your training, you need to have a stimulus, you got your hormones, you have your recovery, and then protein is part of the recovery and rebuilding process. Okay, so you can build a pretty good degree of muscle without gobs and gobs and gobs of protein. But again, you definitely still need some. So why can you build a lot of protein a lot of muscle without protein? Let's first dive into that. Well, first off is you have your 20 amino acids. 9 of them are essential. That means that you have to get them from dietary sources. 11, so the majority of the amino acids that it takes to build protein are not essential. Your body can produce them on its own, okay? But you do need those 9 essential amino acids, okay? So you do need to have dietary protein to build muscle, okay, without a doubt. All right, so let's see what we got here. So the average person, all right, so let's just kind of dive right into recommendations. Not using the word average, but we'll just say the normal person. They're not running any marathons. They're not, trying to be Mr. Olympia, and they just want to maintain. They don't want to lose muscle, but they're really not caring if they gain some or not. All right. Well, the government recommendations, or the RDAs, is 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. Okay. I don't like that formula for several different reasons, which I'll explain why. But at the end of the day, if that person is getting quality protein in, which we'll speak to, that's probably not a horrible recommendation. If that person is doing some exercise to mobilize their muscle mass. They're not overly stressed. They're getting a decent amount of sleep. They're not undernourished, and they're eating the government RDA for protein, and it's quality protein. They're not going to gain a whole lot of muscle. They're probably not going to lose a whole lot. Okay, so that's 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. Now, I said that I don't like that recommendation. Let me explain why. They're saying 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. Well, that means that the more fat that somebody has, the more they're going to feed that fat protein. It doesn't make any sense. So I tend to like formulas and research formulas that involve lean body weight or formulas that involve actual muscle weight. All right, so now let's look at someone who is active, okay? Well, another reason, by the way, just back in, the other reason I don't like that formula is because that's just really low, and you have to get the rest of your calories from other places. And in today's society, it would just be too easy to get those calories from empty sources, okay? Because it's going to be tough to eat the rest of your caloric needs in, micronutrient-rich carbohydrates and dietary fats. But anyway, that's why I don't like the government RDA. So let's go to the next line of person, average age. And they are working out. They understand maybe I don't want to build a whole lot, but I am working out. I'm doing some endurance training. All right. I would move that recommendation up to say 1.8 grams per kilogram of lean body weight. Again, I don't like the body weight equations. There's no sense in feeding the fat, and you'd have to change that equation all the time the second you drink a gallon of water. Okay, so I just don't like total body weight equations. Lean body weight fluctuates a little bit as well, but again, we don't want to feed the fat. So that would be 1.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. For the pretty active person, they're going to the gym, they're not trying to do a bodybuilding show, they're not trying to run a marathon, but they're working out, they're doing some Zumba, maybe doing a little bit of CrossFit. 1.8 grams per kilogram of lean body weight. You might run that and be like, whoa, that is way lower than Muscle and Fiction magazine says, or way lower than what I read on bodybuilding.com. So I do want to speak briefly to quality of protein. I am going to make an assumption that they're getting that in majority quality protein sources, meaning the protein sources have a good protein efficiency ratio, or they're having an abundance of all 20 essential and non-essential amino acid, or at least abundant in the 9 essential amino acids, okay? Particularly branched chain amino acids. So that's gonna be your whey proteins, your lean cuts of beef, fish, turkey, your egg whites, and things of that nature. All great protein sources. But if, say that you were like, say a vegan, no problem with that. I know a lot of vegans that have tons of strength, tons of muscle mass. But if you were a vegan, I'd probably up that a little bit, because it's tough to find quality proteins and complete proteins from non-dairy and non-meat products. You can do it. You just got to combine a bunch of other vegetables and so forth, legumes and nuts and seeds and so forth. You just got to combine them. So I'd actually up that if I were a vegan, okay? Because it'd be tough to hit the BCAAs, the L-leucine, and the other essential amino acids. All right. So now let's move into, hey, I do want to grow. I want to put on some muscle. I'm very active in the weight room. Okay, I'm active in the weight room. Maybe I want to do a show. The protein needs don't go up a whole lot from the 1.8. Okay, so from there, okay, maybe you do 2.25. I would actually still say the 1.8 to 2. Again, if it's quality protein, you're getting more than enough essential and non-essential amino acids to build muscle, just because of the fact, again, you don't need a ton of protein to put on muscle. Okay. Now, there's other things you could think of. If you're just a carnivore, you like protein, there's no problem with having 2.5, 3 times per kilogram of lean body weight. There's no problem with that. Protein tends to be the most expensive macronutrient, so there could be a cost detriment to that. But as far as for the apparent healthy adult, there's no reason why not to have more. I'm just explaining there's no reason that you need more. Okay, so hey, if you don't have a high palate for protein, you just don't care for it, you don't want to spend the money to buy lean protein sources, but you want enough to build muscle, to be safe, yeah, I'd say 2 grams per kilogram of lean body weight. Okay, and again, when you run that math for yourself, you're probably going to find that that's not a whole lot, because again, that's per kilogram, not pound. So take pounds divided by 2.2. All right. Now, this might be surprising for a lot of you. But now let's say that you're the opposite end. You're an ultra marathoner. You're not trying to do no show, but you're a marathon. You want to do a lot of endurance work. Endurance athletes actually need more protein, because they're breaking down a lot more muscle tissue for longer periods of time than bodybuilders. I was surprised to have read that research, actually. But no, they will actually draw off a lot of the BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, that's leucine, isoleucine, and valine, during their longer runs. Your body will actually use those 3 amino acids as an energy source. So marathoners and ultra endurance athletes, 5K runners, things of that nature, Iron woman, Iron man, they need a little bit more protein. I would go up to the 2.25 to 2.5, maybe as high as 2.8 per kilogram of body weight. Now, again, there are a lot of outliers there. So let's talk about some of the outliers. There's your palate. If you love protein, well then I'm gonna formulate that person higher. If you're aging, okay, you're getting old like me, we're gonna formulate that person a little bit higher. Aging populations tend to need a little bit more protein. So that's where a professional, it's tough for if you ask them and you say, hey, I weigh 180 pounds, how much protein do I need? Okay, it's very tough for them to just spout out an answer. And your protein needs are gonna change as your goals change. That was actually one we didn't cover. If you're in a caloric deficit, so going back to that bodybuilder who wants to build muscle, we said 1.8 to 2 grams per kilogram of lean body weight. If they were in season in a caloric deficit, I'd bump that up 2.25 to 2.8, okay, depending on the caloric deficit. All right, so there's another variable. So your protein needs can definitely change throughout the year. What I found is that meatheads like myself, we way overestimate our protein needs. But then endurance athletes and kind of just normal, average gym goers way don't eat enough, and they don't think of the quality proteins. That's something that I really had to look into in my contest prep, is I was eating a lot of like tons of veggies, tons. Like broccoli has a lot of protein in it, but it's a lot of non-essential amino acids. So I was finding that I was getting like literally 40 grams of protein a day from incomplete sources. So I had to kind of bump my protein up and really watch my protein quality as I was going through prep. So that's something to consider, something for you to monitor or your coach to monitor. So hey, hopefully this was helpful for you. We would love to help you dial in your protein needs, and as they change, coach you through your journey through health and fitness. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and send us a message and we'll get rock and rolling. Thanks for tuning in.